Confirming qualifying then, I'm a FIFA tryhard, just getting here in time. Back on top, Invero in second, Bags in third, Jake fourth, M-Stone fifth, Jazz sixth, Branny seventh, Airborne eighth, Clifford ninth, Will Ollie B's going to have to drive differently today, Keck W. He's alongside his Williams teammate in the middle of the grid. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brazil. And it's lights out. I'm a FIFA tryhard. Getting away from Invero. Look to be locking up nice and early. And the predictable carnage into turn one. It is a great spot for overtaking. It's a great spot to get taken out. The yellow flag is up and running. Beautiful shot. But the good news is, for I'm a FIFA tryhard, after getting here late, he's qualified first, and he's flying through. Branny was down at 19th up to 18th. Will Ollie B using his unique gifts to send people flying. R-Bait up into 16th. Airborne 13th. Gaza here on his Grand PriTK debut. Better late than never, Gaza. In 8th position. Bags Liddell in 4th. You like that? You like this on a loop? Little loop? Look at that. R-Bait up into 11th. Yes, please. Will Ollie B overtakes Romain Grosjean. I'm a FIFA tryhard with the fastest lap. Starting first, finishing first. Speedier than all. It is a very, very quick course, and that's a quick corner, if you like, from R-Bait 59. We have mentioned that this off-season Grand PriTK has some flexible rules, to say the very least. Don't know if he'll get away with too many of those. After starting last, R-Bait up into the points. Been doing some random lobbies with that man. Think it's a good place for him. Touching distance with Gaza longer right now. Oh, lovely move through the inside. He says, I'll take it, Gaza. And I'll take a Lewis Hamilton for good measure. Flying through Gaza longer. Airborne forced to pit. No doubt a favourite target of these competitors. He raced. Was it just the one race? Before deciding the Grand PriTK wasn't for him, and now he's come back, giving it another chance. Respect that man, considering what a shambolic state of affairs we find ourselves in. On to lap 3. Jazz CB, 1.5 seconds in front of R-Bit. Quite a gap between him and Clifford. What about this top 6 battle? You've probably seen the points on Twitter, previous videos. Club Clifford, 1 second behind Jake, who is a bit of a target, likes to single out Bayless before the race. Interesting strat. Right behind Bags Liddell, who is a 1.5 seconds behind M-Stone, back racing again today. Good to have the Ferrari lads on board once more. Invero in second. Comfortably behind our race leader, I'm a FIFA tryhard. Goodness me, how tryhard will be grateful that his Alfa Romeo teammate is back and racing. 18th spot isn't going to help him that much. Maybe he could change tact, if you like. Going around the outside there, Invero. Not a good line at all. Tryhard able to hold him at bay, but for how long? Alfa Romeo second in the Constructors' Championship behind McLaren, 26 points behind the leaders. Lando Norris filling in once more for Bambi today. Not currently in the points. Will not likely be taking out other drivers, though some of our competitors maintain their AI can get a little feisty. Airborne carrying that time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, I believe. All things considered, we know how turn 1 is going to go. It doesn't matter where we are around the world. lest here in Brazil. It's going to be carnage on turn 1. Thankfully, no retirees just yet. And Airborne still able to continue on. We might see that once or twice as well. Try hard, if I'm not mistaken. Confusing the pit lane with the racing line. It is done more often than you think. It feels like the natural flow to continue in that manner, taking that line. I assure you it's only going to result in an unscheduled stop. This is Gazalonga in behind R-Bait. Good Gaza finish in the points on debut. It's not been a feat achieved by many, bar those that obviously started that first race. Branny, 1.5 seconds in behind Gazalonga, the Haas driver. They are third in the constructors' standings. Grosjean not going to be a lot of help, you wouldn't think. Maybe Branny can focus on the Drivers' Championship. He is in 4th. Juggles not racing today in 3rd, so an excellent opportunity to overtake him at the least. It is, if not all about, predominantly about that man at the top. I'm a FIFA tryhard. We'll flick over to him now. So consistent has he been. Unable to get his hat-trick of dubs in Suzuka last week. Managing a paltry 2nd to Bags Liddell. But 2 race wins before that. A race win in round 3 as well. He's your leader for a reason. M Stone back with us. It's fantastic to see. He's had a bit of a rough time, or his sub-driver has at least. Currently sitting in 10th spot, 35 points. M Stone without a point since race 5. Bags Liddell pitting a lot earlier than he would have liked, I'm sure. Dropping back into 8th. Could be some good times with him. He's behind R-Bait at the minute. We're on board with him now. The racing point in front goes wide into the grass. Bags Liddell says, thank you very much. Goes straight past R-Bait. Very capable. Just likes to take people out for the banter. Can you blame him? You're driving a pink Merc. Could only go one way. There is that perfect angle again. You do want to take it nice and tight. I am aware. I do feel like with Tryhard only just making this race on time, he had to install an update for the game. His head might not completely be there. We can ask him after the race. I could well be wrong. I'm normally wrong in one major way for each race. Bags Liddell flying away from R-Bait, but has 7.5 seconds to make up on Jazz. Knowing Bags, that'll just take 3 or 4 laps. Jazz CB sitting in 6th. Should he be pursuing F1 esports rather than FIFA esports? Well, that's for him to decide. So gifted is he at every game that he touches. Club Clifford. Rage quitted foot. Came back to that. Rage quitted the Grand PriTK. Came back to that too. Respect. And he's having a pretty good time of it, Club Clifford, since he did come back. Finishes of 5th, 4th, 6th, and 5th. That elusive podium that he got in round 4. Maybe it's coming straight back. Bags Liddell with the fastest lap. That's one man that's definitely coming back. On lap 8, Club Clifford, some 5 seconds behind. Wake, 67W. Thought I might have seen M Stone gaining on Tryhard. He's still managing to keep him away. For how long? I'm not so sure. On board now with M Stone 23, the Ferrari driver. Best place to overtake is arguably on that straight before turn 1, maybe heading into turn 1. So we'll stay live now and Tryhard goes into pit once again. You feel like M Stone was following him just a little bit. Realised, of course, the tryhard was going into pit, and now can enjoy, even just temporarily, the station of race leader. Invero in second, Wake in third, Club Clifford fourth. What a day for Ferrari. And what about Red Bull? Jazz CB in fifth. Invero in second, yes please. Bags Liddell in sixth. And you just saw Tryhard coming out of the pit lane. And it's Arbate behind him. Not close enough to make things interesting. Arbate may well have changed from racing sensibly to Chief Tryhard Takeratera, if there is such a role. Will Ollie B with the DNF trying to have a look at anyone that might have fallen down the leaderboard. Not so sure he was successful. What's happening here? Arbate 59. What on earth just went down there? Is he... I got nothing for you. I've got nothing for you. No idea what just happened. Branny behind him will be nervous as all get out. Gazalinga back in 10th, but there's still plenty of time. Sometimes, normally, 99% of the time, one of those. You'd be pretty sad to see your fellow driver out. Gaz is probably delighted, knowing how Bayless would normally race. Ricardo, all the way back in 18th. Not good for that man. Maybe that's who Bayless took out. Kvyat in 17th. Grosjean 16th. Airborne can now start to move up. He goes in behind Grosjean. Overtaken by Grosjean. It's because he's in the pit again. Maybe Bayless went for seconds. I'm sure we'll find out post-race. M-Stone still our leader. Have a look at this, Bags. Straight past Jazz CB, if you don't mind. The two Red Bull close to one another. I think Jazz took out Invero in that last race. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like I remember Invero, who's now overtaken Jazz, was in second or third spot and ended up just getting destroyed by his fellow Red Bull driver. Finished in 9th eventually. I could be wrong. It's been a busy week, to say the least. I should watch my own YouTube videos and find out. Jazz going for the takeout. In fact, succeeds. And well, Arbate can ghost on through if you like. I'm a FIFA tryhard. Has been destroyed. I repeat, destroyed. So Jazz CB, despite being on once again for a podium finish, changes tact. Even with ghosting on, there's not that much that could be done in that scenario. Will over the halfway point. That is a massive moment in this race. We remain a little confused, as we always are, in the Grand PriTK. Bags Liddell in behind Arbate. Arbate chucking on the brakes. Bags looks on the outside. Arbate holds inside. And now through the inside. Lovely from Bags Liddell. Arbate says, I respect that, brother man. Will Arbate give us the clean finish we're begging from the Racing Point driver? He finished 4th in round 6. He was 7th back in Melbourne in round 1. Those were his only points finishes. Jazz forced to pit after taking out Tryhard, who likewise is forced to box. Perez up into 8th. Red letter day. Pink letter day for Racing Point then, potentially. It is M-Stone with a 2-second lead over Invero. Jake in 3rd. Bags Liddell in 4th. And for once, I don't believe he's gaining. Arbate in behind Bags, but it's Ocon or Ricardo, someone in between. Surely it's Ricardo. It is. Move out of the way, Danny. Oh, Danny and Arbate. Bit of afters there. Aussie on Brexit. But I think Arbate is clean and through. Ricardo down in 18th. Might be doing a Bayless without a Bayless left to do a Bayless. This is Airborne in 17th. Swallows his pride and returns to the Grand PriTK, only to be assaulted, I assume, twice by Bayless. Jazz down in 13th has thrown away a potential points finish. Surprise, surprise. Try hard still in the points. A reminder, this is your Grand PriTK leader. 147 points through 9 races. He has a lot of work to do to even have a whiff of a podium finish. 5 seconds behind Gaza, who's 13 behind Branny, who's 12 behind Clifford, who seems to be climbing slightly on Arbate 59. Bags Liddell 2 seconds out of the points. It should be an absolutely ripper finish here in Brazil. This course, 2.7 miles long, 15 turns. Changed ever so slightly over the years. Arbate with the pit. Yikers chat. Do I get any yikers? At this point, to be fair, we might have a look at some things, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I also wouldn't mind is seeing whereabouts Arbate comes out. Just behind Branny. Just behind Branny. We might struggle to hold him off. We will have a look at stops and whatnot in just a moment, but Arbate with clearly the faster car, you feel, will be looking for his right moment. Branny will attempt the defensive driving course. Alright, I'm bored. M Stone up in first. 4 spots from qualifying. But what's about this from Arbate? Started last. Up in 7th place. Thank you for the follow. I'm a FIFA tryhard. Taken out by Jazz. Moving down to 9th. Jazz, who could well have finished in the points, would still well finish in the points. A comfortable distance from the podium. Airborne down 8 places. He was forced to pit twice, as was Tryhard. Crucial moments in Brazil. Crucial moments in the Grand PriTK. 5-second penalty for Clifford and 3 for Arbit. Noted. One of the few races on the calendar that goes anti-clockwise. I thought that was interesting. You might not. I don't care. As we hit our 3rd last lap, M Stone. 1.5 seconds above Invero. With a friend in between. Jake in 3rd. Bags Liddell coming after Jake. He wants that podium finish. The blue flag out. Get out of my way. But he's stuck in behind the AlphaTauri just at the minute. It feels like a podium will be made of drivers currently in the top 4. That gap between Bags and Clifford just too great at this stage, bar a classic Grand PriTK disaster. Jazz may decide he's done. Arbate, maybe 7th isn't good enough for him. Maybe Tryhard and Airborne get a bit of revenge. Tryhard probably can't afford to muck around. Any points at this stage will do. Bags Liddell can go through Grosjean. Up alongside Jake on the outside. Heavy contact. Jake remains in 3rd. Does Bags go again? Of course he does. He tries once more. Bags Liddell, this time on the straight. Yes, please. That's Bags Liddell. And Jake going very wide indeed. Scared maybe of the contact. Whatever it was. Jake 67, L into 4th. Can Bags Liddell make up the 4 seconds to 2nd? Even for King Bags, I'm not so sure. That is Norris, who once again, with ghosting being turned on for the first time, can be glided straight on through. So Bags Liddell trying to cut into that 4-second mark in Vero. 1.5 seconds behind your race leader. M-Stone on the final lap. Let's go. M-Stone 23, returning and loving life. He's not been in the points once more since round 5. This is round 10. It would be super special. I'm having a look at the track. It doesn't appear like anyone's going to be too foolish, at least as far as M-Stone is confirmed. Second last corner of note. He can avoid disaster here. And he can. M-Stone 23. Red letter day for Ferrari. He's back. And back with a vengeance. Congratulations. M-Stone 23. He takes the chicken flag in Brazil. In Vero. Not far behind. Bags Liddell. An excellent job to fight back in 3rd. Jake in 4th. And then we chill for a bit. Clifford carrying that penalty. It will not affect anything. So far back is he, but those are vital points for Ferrari. Before Brazil, they sat 5th in the standings. That could well change. Branny back in 6th. Now this is where it will be a little interesting. Tryhard and Arbate. Tryhard may well stay in front due to that penalty, and Arbate trying something. It does not work whatsoever. Tryhard rides the bump, if you will. And again, Arbate might say, well, look, I was carrying a penalty. I guess I might as well try it. Credit to Tryhard. Staying true. Jazz in 9th. And how about that? Gazalinga on his F1 Grand PriTK debut will take a point. A big day in the F1 Grand PriTK Championship. For Constructor sure, but for Driver 2, M-Stone